Now, Sir Ivan, if you will press this switch over, when I say now, that will open our station. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now.
So hello guys, welcome to a new show that I've been planning for a while but not actually been able to set up until recently. So what the idea of this show is, excuse me one sec. So basically when I get days off, and my days off are irregular, so this won't be the same time every week. I'll do a little show. Now, the way my rota works is I'll do 6 weeks of days and then I'll do 6 weeks of nights. So while I'm on nights, this will be a late night show. And then when I go over to days, this will become an afternoon show. So once I get going, I will post the shows in advance. I'll give you a lot more than 2 or 3 hours notice like I have done today. So first of all, I need to say a big thank you to Smith's Beads, who are very kind sponsors of my diamond painting shows. And they've even gone one better today. Anyone who's watching today or watching this show, and I'll change the text now. If you go onto their website and enter penny 15 in checkout, you will get 15% discount, which I think is extremely generous. They contacted me today and they said, do you want a discount code? And I said, well, I'll always take a discount code. And I was expecting a 10%, but 15% is extremely generous. And on top of an already brilliant company, and I say that not because I'm being sponsored. I say that because I'm a customer of them. I think everything about them is brilliant. They're a hard-working family company. Okay, they're not as fast as places like Amazon, but what they lack in the speed that Amazon do, you get a lot of love and care in every order. And I know every order is dealt with by hand. It's hand-picked, hand-packed, posted. It's a really lovely company to work for. So let's get on. First of all, wow, comments are coming in really fast. So hopefully you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. If anybody wants to step in and join me, drop me a little message on Facebook. I am Penny Blake, amazingly enough. If you want to type in the URL, I believe my URL for Facebook is Lady Phoenix UK. Drop us a little message and maybe we'll invite you on the show. So we've got John Alex Scale Modeling. Hiya, Penny. Hope you're well. Hope you're well too. Now, obviously, this is a diamond painting show. I hope you're interested enough. Obviously, the channel is Penny's Pit Stop. It's everything that I do, not just scale modeling, but today it's all about the diamond painting. Harry Marwick, good evening, Penny. How are you, Harry? And then we've got the lovely Smith Speed says hi all. Harry Marwick says hiya, John Alec. I love my viewers because they spend so much time saying hello to everybody else, and it just shows you what lovely people they are. So Love Minnie says hi all. Whole 247 models. Good evening, Penny, and all in chat. Harry Marwick again. God, Anglia TV. Now that's a blast from the past. Yeah. So my intros, I've been thinking about doing the Anglia TV for absolutely ages, and then one of the other scale model shows that I've watched regularly, they use the HTV, obviously not HTV, or one of their local TV channels, and I'm like, yeah, now's the time to do it. The only problem is I live in Scotland now. So do I do Anglia TV? So I did Anglia TV when I thought there's something lacking. So I thought, do you know what? I'll try and put something together to make it look like Scottish TV is taking over Anglia. So I kind of amalgamated the Scottish TV and the Anglia TV. And of course, if you're in Glasgow, you've got to use the Duke of Wellington statue with the traffic cone on its head, and you'll probably only understand that if you come from Glasgow. When I first came out, I thought, well, that's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? And someone said, no, that's how it is. And then one day, someone actually removed the cone from the Duke of Wellington statue, and everyone's like, oh my god, the cone, the traffic cone, it's gone. And then it was back again. It's like, whoa. And that's how it is in Glasgow. Glasgow is known for having the Duke of Wellington statue with the cone on its head. So Harry Mark says, hi, Keith. Hi, Harry Mark. How are you? James Mower says, hi, all. Right. So, the idea of this show is going to be that I'm going to be doing my customs. I have ordered a lovely custom from Smith's Beads, and I will show you. Because I'll show you the picture because I haven't received it. Customs from Smith's Beads take roughly 2 to 3 weeks to arrive, maybe a little bit longer. You got to remember, again, I use the emphasis on hand picked, that's all done by hand. But obviously, this is going to take a few weeks. Now, when I started doing agency driving, I started taking pictures of my buses. I am now on Flixbus. I am now officially a Flixbus driver. And this is one of the first trips that I did. So naturally, I took a picture of it. And Smith's Beads did a little bit of editing for me, which was absolutely brilliant. If you'll notice, they blurred out the background just a little bit, just to bring more emphasis on the coach. They haven't blurred the background out so much that it disappears. And I think they've got that absolutely perfectly. And I couldn't believe the price. I think it was something like, let me just check my email. Because if I get it wrong, sorry, bear with me a sec, guys. I want to get my facts right on this. I don't want to start saying about. So this is a 60 by 60 square drill, and it cost me, without discounts, £44. Now that was full price. So that's 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters. Now, obviously, if you did a 60 by 60 today and you picked your own picture, 15% off £44 is £6.30, £38. Is that about right? So, even at £44, I think that's really good, actually. So 36 is even better, isn't it? So maybe get your customs ordered today. So P40F20 has just joined us. He says, hi all. How are you? So let me just change the banner back to reflect, so you can all go off to Smith's Beads. So because I haven't got my custom yet, I'm going to be doing a different diamond painting, and all the idea of this show is that I'm going to be doing a bit of diamond painting, a bit of chat. I can tell you all about my silly customers that I've had on my Flixbus and my lovely customers. So this is the diamond painting I'm doing today. Now, this is a Fansels one. Is that the camera? And I suspect it's due to licensing laws. They called it something like Scary Man and Woman or something like that. But I recognised it as something from the Suicide Squad. It's not anything amazing. It's just something to do. I want to get this done as quick as possible because I'll probably stop doing it once I get my custom. I know my custom's going to be a lot better. Now, this is, to give you an idea of the size, this is a 40 by 30. And it's not even 40 by 30. It's probably more. Sometimes when you get these, the 40 by, yeah, so it's actually the canvas is 40 by 30. So the custom that I'm getting is going to be twice the depth and about 50% wider. This is a round drill, which isn't my favorite. It still does the job very well, but I do prefer my square drills. It's personal preference. And this is, I believe, help me out here, this is poured glue. Now, poured glue, it has the sticky, just like anything else, but it has this, I don't get on too well with this glare sheet. If you have double-sided tape on it, it comes with this lovely, this kind of backing paper. And the reason I like this backing paper is because I'll cut it into squares and then I'll put the paper back on, and then I can pull each square off as I go. With this, I can't see where I've cut. See, I have actually cut a square off, but now I've cut that square off, I have no idea where it is. So what I have to try and sort of work, I like to start from the corner, but I want to try and get around there as much as possible. So yeah, I'm just going to be chatting away today, answering any comments, dealing with any comments. A little bit of a disclaimer for you, it is a long show. It's not like a 10-minute show. So you may see me doing things that you may disapprove of, such as smoking, drinking cups of coffee, eating biscuits. I still have a Pop-Tart that I haven't finished yet. I can't show you the flavor because that is not written, but that is a s'mores flavored Pop-Tart, and it is the most wonderful thing I've ever had in my life. And they are expensive because it's American import section, but oh boy, is it nice. So for those of you that don't know what s'mores are, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a Graham's cracker with chocolate marshmallow melted over the fireplace, and it's oh my god, it's amazing. So basically I've got me drills in my little boat here, and I'm just gonna go for it. My as some of you know, I was having a little bit of struggle with work. I joined the company 6 months ago with the intention of doing Flixbus, and for various reasons. Sorry, I'm just popping my ruler on here just so I can get the first layer straight. Once you get the first layer straight, the rest of them just line up quite easily. So I'd been doing service bus work for about 6 months, and there's nothing wrong with service bus work, but it just really wasn't working out for me, mainly on the basis that that wasn't what I wanted to do. And secondly, it's the travel to work time was terrible, and you're finishing work, you're getting home, and then you're straight to bed and up for the next shift. And Flixbus, you've still got that travel to time work, travel to work time, but because you're doing these overnight shifts to London, you get a little bit more time off. It works out an average of an extra half a day off a week, because you're doing the longer shifts, but you're not working as hard. With the service bus work, if you do a 10-hour shift, you're doing about 10 hours driving, whereas with Flix, because it's double man crew, if you're doing a 10-hour shift, you're doing 5 hours driving and 5 hours resting, which makes a hell of a difference. And then you're staying in a hotel, so your rest time is a little bit easier to manage. So I do apologize. I'm going to be sort of telling a few things that many of you will know, but there may be a few people that might be saying, "Oh, what's she doing?" So the way I'm placing these drills is I'm doing a checkerboard which basically means, as you can see there, I'm doing every other drill, and I'm doing it in like a chessboard. And what it means is that when it comes to filling those gaps in, it gets all the drills line up straight, so much easier. Again, something I find myself saying a lot. I don't understand the science of it, but it just works. Once you've got that first line lined up, that top line there, it just all comes, and then you line this one up as well. It just all goes together really well. And I am doing what I consider the most boring bit, which is the corner. And unfortunately, with most pictures, the corner doesn't really have anything interesting. It's just usually one color, which this one certainly is. Although with this being mostly one color, it means I can probably whiz through a lot quicker. Which, once you know me, once my custom arrives, I want to chuck this in the bin or something, or finish it and get on with the next one. Because I'm really looking forward to that custom. I know that Smith's Bees have done quite a lot of work with me on that. There we go. So I've got that corner lined up, end line lined up. And then what will happen is, if there are any that are slightly out of a line, you'll see it once I've finished putting these first lot down. You'll see them. Sorry, bear with me. Something I have to do a lot is get my head right in and have a look. There we go. I didn't know if that was the right code or not. Every now and again, with my eyesight, I can't quite see the code. So let's see what the hell I've done there. That's gone well out of line there, isn't it? I've got this little pen. It's called Quick Sticks. Quick Stick. I don't think it's uniquely made for diamond painting. And anyone that's seen my Tomcat videos will see that I've used it before. It's basically got blue tack in the end, and once that blue tack runs out, you just screw this end. And because you've got the blue tack, this is why I'm picking these up. With normal diamond painting pens, you put a little bit of wax on the end. This is what you normally get. I have upgraded to a pen that works better for me. And if you ever start a diamond painting, you generally always get this. And you get your little bit of wax, and you pop your pen in there like that. And there's just a tiny bit sticky there, just enough to pick the drills up. So I see that James Moore says it's like cross stitch with diamonds. Yeah, it is. I don't know why they call them diamond painting, but because it's not done with diamonds, but I suppose it sounds a lot better than little pieces of plastic painting, doesn't it? But the way that these have been cut, you'll see not so much with rounds, but can you see how, because of the angles, they're all catching the light differently. This is another reason why I like the squares, because the squares get cut sort of 8 ways on the top, and you can see that they sparkle a little bit, but the squares, I think they spark. Is it they say that squares sparkle and rounds shimmer? I think that's what they say. Right, let me see where I am on the chat. I think I've missed some. Right, oh God, I've missed a lot. There we go. So John Alex Scale Model, hi Harry Marwick. Hello Keith and James. Mike Tedstone from Smith's Bees, as you can see from the logo, he says hello all. Hi John Alex Scale Modeling. Hi James Mower. I like watching these pennies. It's interesting. It's actually really de-stressing. You know, there's no there's nothing real practical about them other than aesthetic. You know, I'm not saving the world or anything like that. I'm just sitting here doing tap, tap, tap. And it's just really, you know, I guess it's not for everybody, but it's just chilling and it's just nice. And, you know, you've got a nice picture here, but by the time you get these drills on, it looks even better. I'm hoping that I'll have most of this done within the next couple of hours. And you'll start to see the difference between the bit I've done and the bit that I haven't done. And I do apologize about the light bounce. If I turn my light out, let's have a look. Oh, that's not too bad, actually. Should we do this in the dark? I've got my little light pad. That's what it looks like without the light pad. And oh no, what a time for it to not work. There, 1, 2, 3. And that's what it looks like with the light pad. I think it's, do you know what? I think I'm better off in the dark, aren't I? It's only if I switch to my front camera that I'm going to need to put the light on, but it certainly eliminates the light bounce. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But you can see that I can't. There's the line where the cover for the tape finishes, and I just can't see where the edge is. So James Moore says, hi, Hold 247 models and John Alex scale modeling. Hi, James Mower, slight cross stitching with diamonds. Joker and Harley, that's it. Now, I heard this morning, funnily enough, coincidentally, the new Joker film, Harley is going to be played by Lady Gaga. I'm not sure of the actual reason. Apparently, I can't remember her name, but the person who played her, she's like, I am Harley Quinn, and she demanded more money. And the film company went, no, we'll get someone else. That's one of the rumors I heard. One of the other rumors that I heard was that in the new Joker film, Harley has got some singing parts. So they need somebody who can sing, hence Lady Gaga. But I really don't know how I feel about Harley Quinn being played by somebody else. Him being played by, I've forgotten his name, Joaquin something, the new Joker. I think he's the best Joker ever. And I know people will disagree with me on that one, but I don't care. That's my opinion. But again, I don't know how I feel about her being played by Lady Gaga. So Margot Robbie and Jared Leto. See, I don't think Jared Leto was a good Joker. I really didn't like him in Suicide Squad. Really didn't like him. It just didn't work for me. So Mike Tedstone, the AB310 on the background would be good. Yes, it probably would. But I'll be honest with you, Mike, on something like this, I wouldn't go for it because this is a cheap, nasty diamond painting. It's a shame I'm doing a show sponsored by Smith's Beads, and here I am doing a diamond painting that isn't the best quality. This was a cheap one from Fansels, but you know, I didn't want to commit myself to a big one because that would take weeks and weeks and weeks. And obviously I want to be ready when that custom comes, because just in case you guys missed it, I cannot wait for this. That is going to be absolutely amazing. And maybe thinking about a few ABs on this in certain places. We've got a little bit of a shine there. That might be quite nice, and maybe just to catch a little bit on that wing mirror, just to make it look clean and shiny. That could be good. But I think with ABs, I think too much is bad, isn't it? I've done a few diamond paintings before, and I find, yeah, therapeutic and relaxing. But also they can take over your life a little bit. So there we go. Right. At least you haven't got a furry intrude. Yeah, do you know what? I really miss that cat. he was a pain in the bum. But the day he was supposed to go back, I was up at 4 a.m, and he decided to have a mad half hour. Well, I say mad half hour, it's about 10 minutes. And he was just racing around the living room. And I thought, oh, he's settled now, isn't he? And then his owner came in the evening, and I don't think he wanted to go back. I almost stepped in and went, do you know what? He's mine now. But, but then she brought me some things back from her holiday. So she got me some nugget and some, what do they call it? Baklava, is it? So like a little sweet dessert and a few little things. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can be bought off. So James Moore says Joe Quinn Phoenix, and we have our first clash now. Heath Ledger owns that role. Well, P40, much as I love you, I am going to disagree with you on there. I would have said Heath Ledger until I watched the new Joker film. But, I know a lot of people who absolutely insist Heath Ledger's the best Joker. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about films, is that we can't all agree, which makes life a bit more interesting. But yeah, you can tell that P40 definitely thinks Heath Ledger, because he's so much that he's written the comment twice. And James Moore agrees, which is fine. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not one of these left-wing woke people. I'm gonna ban you because you disagree with me. Right. Unfortunately, because it's dark, I can't find my lighter. So do you know what? One of the things I thought about doing coaches was that I would be dealing with different people, and I just couldn't be more wrong. Some of the stories I can tell you. We had a man. Basically, what had happened, we'd got to London. We always get there a little bit early, and we chill out, and we nip into Sainsbury's, and we get coffees and things, and then we pull into the bus station about half an hour before we're due out, and then we get ourselves ready again, and then I've got to confess, I think we get in half an hour early, but don't actually load up till 15 minutes early, purely so the customers can see us. And we've got them locked on the other side of a door, and they're all looking at us, and then we're all looking back. I swear it's because of that. But essentially, London bus station, Victoria bus station, it's the way it works is it's a traffic movement area for 15 minutes. And then for 15 minutes after that, it's a passenger loading area. And when it's a traffic movement area, we don't allow passengers to walk because they could get run over. And then once the passengers are loading up, we don't allow any movement of coaches because obviously they could run passengers over. And I've not heard of anyone getting run over, so the system isn't wrong, is it? Right, so James Moore says not watch the new Joker film. James, do you know what? It's probably, I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I had to pay to watch it. And I think it's about £4 to watch it on Amazon Prime. And to give you an idea of how good value it is, I watched a film today. Is it the Acid House? Someone had recommended it, and it cost me 99 pence. And I couldn't get more than 2/3 of the way through it. I think maybe it's just dated. But the Joker, I would have paid double for that. I thought it was absolutely good film. Brilliant film. It was really thought-provoking. If you ever do get... I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but if you ever do get to watch the new Joker film, here's a question for you. Who really are the bad guys and the good guys in that film? Right, so Mike is writing cryptically. How long before listen, Mike, we try not to mention it, and then you mention it, and then it gets mentioned. So I'm blaming you. So, There you go. Right, let's have a quick switch to the banner. So you've all got the website there for Smith's Beads. Just in case you haven't, it's smithsbeads.co.uk. And if you do make an order, it's 15% discount on the order. Now, I know that some people complain about their postage costs. And I have kind of not moaned, but I brought it up before. Now, when you get a company says free postage, what they've actually done is they've added the cost of the postage into the actual item, which if you're only buying a single item is absolutely amazing. But if you buy like 10 items, what you're effectively doing is paying for postage 10 times. So a much fairer way to do it would be to charge the item and then charge postage on the end. And that's exactly what Smith's Beads does. Now, if you're not keen on paying postage, why not make an order, put the discount code in, and if you spend enough money, your discount will be more than the cost of the postage. So you're effectively getting free postage. How's that? Everybody's a winner. So, yeah, so the other week we get this guy comes up. Oh, I lost my pen, look. Here it is. We get this guy comes up to us and he says, oh, can you do us a favour? And I'm like, I know what you're going to ask. Yeah, not a problem. Usually if they ask us favours, they want us to take a passenger for one reason or another. And he said, he goes, we've got these 3 customers. Flix actually operates onto the continent now. And you can now actually book a coach from the north of England all the way into Germany or France, and it's like £50 each way, which, you know, you can't. Some of the coach companies you couldn't get from Scotland to London on that price. But anyway, this Paris bus had come in really, really late, about 3 hours, and it was basically me to the rescue. So I said, yeah, not a problem. We've got the space. I don't mind. I said, you know, they've paid their money to the company I'm working for. So, yeah, that's fine. And he says, oh, well, be a bit careful because one of them's got a bit abusive. And I said, okay, well, I said, if they say one bad thing to me, you or anyone in the bus station, they ain't travelling. In all fairness to him, he was all right. He didn't say anything out of turn. So on he got. And anyway, the day before, we'd come from Manchester. We'd come down the M6, which is notorious for heavy traffic and accidents. And there'd been an accident and we'd been delayed 2 hours. Now, me and the guy that I was with, we're new to doing this particular route. And we mentioned it to the other guys and they all went, no. Don't come down the M6 because that's notorious, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm going to catch that chat up. Right, Jeff Light. Very good evening, Penny, and everyone in chat. Hi, Jeff Light. See what I mean? All my viewers are lovely. They're all courteous to everybody else in the chat, and you can't buy viewers like that, can you? Jeff Light. Hi, Keith and James. Hi, Jeff Light. Now, has Sue come down from orbit after being in Nigel's Mustang? And then Jeff Light says, hi, John Alec. Yeah, so anyway, so we picked these passengers up. That's right, you are saying that we got stuck in this traffic the day before and we got advised, oh, use this different route. It's slightly longer, but it's always constant. You know, it's a case of, would you rather be 15 minutes late every single day, or would you rather be anything between on time and 3 hours late? You just don't know. So we went this alternative way, and as it happened, we were looking good for 10 minutes early. You know, the running times are good, and we didn't really encounter too much bad traffic. So we were looking good for about 10-15 minutes early. And this guy's kicking off. Oh, you've come the long way. You've gone past my house. And I'm like, well, we've got to come past someone's house, haven't we? Because that's kind of what we do. We travel and we go past houses. And then he's like, why are you shouting at me? I said, well, I'm not shouting at you. And he's going, oh, why have you gone this way? And I said, well, we felt it was the best way on the day. And he's just, he's going on and on. And in the end, I said, do you know what? Sorry, mate, I'm just going to ignore you. I'm just not going to argue with you. And he was kicking right off. And turns out what he wanted us to do was drop him off at his house. But I actually lost my temper, and I'm like, well, I said, next time someone's stranded in London, can't get home, don't ask me for help. I ain't helping anyone anymore. And, but yeah, it's like he's stranded in London. He's got in late from Paris. We've actually decided to help him, and all he can do is moan about it. And I just thought, you can't please some people, can you? So that's just gone in upside down, I think. That's one of the joys of diamond painting in the dark. So yeah, and then we had another woman. She got on at London. We got to our first stop at Birmingham, and she's saying to us, oh, have you got any water? I said, no, sorry, we don't carry water. You really need to make sure you've got not enough water for yourself. And she's going, well, I've run out. I said, I'm really, really sorry. She goes, well, can we stop at a shop? And I said, well, no, we can't stop at the shop. So we got to Manchester, and then her husband comes down. And I said, I told her, we can't. He goes, well, can you stop at a shop? I said, no, plus it's up past midnight, and it's so, I said, but just out of interest, how much water did she bring? He said, half a bottle. I said, what? So she's bought half a bottle of water to last her from London to Glasgow. I'm like, you really need to be bringing enough with you. Sorry, all right. Hi, so Jeff Lutz says, hi, John Alex. James Mower, nice Merc. John Alex, scale modelling, by the way. Can't buy fans. Does that mean this month's payment is not on the way? Yeah, I've cancelled that one for you, P40. Sorry. Thank you, James Mower. James, we're in Scotland, are you now? I am in Glasgow, and I have to say it's possibly one of the best decisions I've made. It was a desperate decision at the time. I had a bit of trouble where I was before in Kent, and I said to the agency I was working with, I need something with accommodation. And he said, and I quote, I'm sorry, Penny, all we've got is Glasgow. And I'd not heard anything good about Glasgow. But obviously I had nowhere to live. So I took it because there was no other option. And it's an absolutely wonderful place. It's so, what's the word when something's described incorrectly? The people are nice, but basically the people will treat you the way you treat them. And I try to be respectful to customers, and they're respectful back. I might moan about one or two passengers here and there, but the reality of it is that for every bad customer, for every customer that I don't like, I've probably got about 100, 200 customers that have been absolutely wonderful. We had one the other week, lovely lady. She got something had happened with the trains. So I just like that next comment. It's like Penny's doing battleships. Yeah, you see that I've been working on it for half an hour, and I've got a little bit of a structure going, and it's starting to look nice as well. I think this looks very aesthetically pleasing while I'm doing it. Yeah, so this lady she'd had problems with the trains. I don't think it was anything to do with strikes or anything. I think something had happened, and the bottom line was she couldn't get to where she was going to. She was a train customer, not a coach customer, so we were under no obligation to help her. and she was in tears, the poor lady, and she was so nice. And I said to her, look, I said, I'm going to have to help Flick's customers first, because they obviously are paying customers. And I said, it looks likely I will be able to help, but be prepared for disappointment. I'll help you if I can. And, you know, it's from a business point of view, I got her on. And like I say, from a business point of view, it probably wasn't a great move, because we've effectively allowed someone to travel for free. But then also from a business point of view, I think it was a great move, because she's probably going to be booking our coaches next time she comes down, because we have quite a few I think it was Manchester she went to, and we do have quite a few coaches going to Manchester on a daily basis from London. So, you know, if she didn't get on mine, just that mine was the last Manchester of the day. So she, if she comes down to London again in the future, she'll get a coach home. And we even run on Christmas Day. And I'm one of the few people that don't have a major problem with working Christmas Day. Especially with my company's bank holiday pay structure. I think it's rather borderline genius. Some companies give you double pay for bank holidays. Some people give you double pay and a loo day. Some people just give you a loo day. What my company does, instead of giving you 20 days holiday a year, which is the statutory minimum, they actually give you 28 days a year, and they don't pay extra for bank holiday. And not everyone will disagree with, not everyone will agree with me, but I think it's a great move, because what I've always tried to do is take my 4 weeks holiday, and then I try to grab bank holidays and then take the normal pay plus the loo day. Because I've already been given those extra 8 days, it doesn't matter if I work a bank holiday or not. So I've already got it. So it works well for me. And then also, because I'm working on a tachograph, I get quite a lot of long weekends. I have to work quite a few days on the trot for them. And there's a couple of weeks when they do push the driving laws to the limit, but I can guarantee you most weeks I get blocks of 2 or 3 days off. I think there's one position on the road where I get a single day off, but in fact that's not really. Let me show you this rotor. I'll try and just hide the names up. You can see there, look, I've only got the 1 day off in the week, but what it is actually a 4-day weekend. So you got the 3 days and the 4, because I have to have blocks of 2 days, because the law says I have to have a weekly, although that technically isn't a 48-hour period in the week, but there is one there. So all that will happen is I'll have a long weekend there, then I'll have a day off there, work 6 days, then I have 2 days off there. So it's quite nice. And also sometimes if you book your holiday in the right place, I've got a holiday coming up at the end of October, and I'm actually going to be working 6 days that week with a long weekend, the weekend before and after. So by booking 5 days off, I will actually end up with, I think it works out as 12 days off. With my days off leading into it and leading out of it. So yeah, you get a little bit clever with your holidays. It works out really well. And now I've run out of things to say. I'm sure something will come up. So if you are noticing any gaps in there, it's because of another color. You see I've got a gap there. I could get more in, but I'm trying to stick to this checkerboard pattern. And what I actually do, I noticed that when some people do the checkerboard, They'll do this first run as I'm doing at the moment, then they'll fill it in, and then they'll do the rest of it. I actually do the rest of it in full, then I go back and I fill the checkerboard bit in, and it's really nice actually, because the rest of these drills will just fall into place. Let me just fill these. Now I did a review on these when I received these diamond paintings, and I rated them quite highly. But I rated them quite highly on what I could rate them on, i.e. I opened the packets, I looked at the quality of the glue, I looked at the quality of the picture, and the bit that isn't really that good are these drills. Half of them are sticking together, but also I'm working with, I really don't like working with black. I think that is every diamond painting's bugbear, isn't it? The black, because they just, I don't know what it is, but you can't tell if the drill is upside down or the right way round. I don't know if you've noticed, I've had to change a few, and I bet you when I'm finished I'll go back to it, I'll turn the light on and I'll go, oh, 3 or 4 of them are upside down, and you just don't notice. But once you get onto the more interesting colors, one of my favorite colors, I've forgotten the number of it, but it's a really dark blue. It's well, it's almost black, but it's not really black. Let's call it black with interest. So there we go. Get in there. Sorry, when I count, I'm like do. Right, let's do a quick catch up. So if I miss your comment, I apologize. Can't I find just like Penny's doing? It's like Penny's doing battleships. Glasgow, got it. Yeah, I do love Glasgow. I really stick up for Glasgow. There's an awful lot going on. I mean, it's not a dream city. It's not the most fantastic place. You know, some areas are really bad, and the trick is to learn the areas that won't work for you. I suppose I'm a little bit luckier in being a bus driver. You obviously have to go into certain areas, and you do, believe it or not, get a certain amount of respect of customers that want to use your bus. Not everybody. The kids drive me absolutely potty. The kids get on the bus, and then out come the cans of alcohol and the vape machines. Within seconds, the bus is full of smoke, and I mean, I just kick them off, because you can do that. I mean, people go, oh, you can't kick minors off. You can when laws have been broken, and it is against the law to vape and drink on a bus. And then, you know, sometimes they'll refuse to get off, and they'll be like, make me, and I'll be like, well, I'm not going to make you, but this bus ain't moving until you get off. And then it takes about a minute or two to get the message. And then what they'll do is they'll shout some abuse at me as they're getting off, because you know what kids are like these days. They got to get the last word in. And the sensible way to approach it is, if they're getting off my bus and they need to get the last word in, you can have the last word. No point arguing with them. You never win, will you? So Minnie, they used to work for Heathrow, or that's where I stay. Our hotel is called the Sheraton, and it's right outside. You can actually see, I guess it depends on the wind direction, but you can actually physically see the planes taking off on the runway. And I'm glad to say that this particular hotel has very good double glazing, because it is unbelievably loud when the planes are taking off. But if you look out your window from your room, you honestly cannot hear a thing. And when you're on a night shift and you sleep during the day, that is really important. But but you can see why there's no houses. There's just nothing but hotels there. But we get, oh, do you know what? Some of the stewardesses that stay there, obviously they've come in from a long flight, Dubai or wherever they've come from. I don't know. But I tell you what, the way they look at you and the way they act, you'd think they're some kind of royalty. And I can't abide that. You know, you're a worker, you know, well, you're in the same hotel as me. Doesn't matter who's paid for it. You're no more, no less a guest than I am. And you know, they just look down their noses at you. And I'm like, well, if you were that good, you wouldn't need to work for a living, would you? That's my attitude. So you're in, you know, you're working class, aren't you, like me? So, right, careful, Paul. Paul Plastic Monkeys, Yamoto will sink. No more videos. Oh, I'll tell you what, if you've been watching, I keep forgetting his bloody name, Nigel's modelling bench. He's doing the Yamoto. Is it the Yamoto? But one thing I'm really enjoying that he's doing is that Bismarck turret. Most people who are interested in my channel and watching other channels similar will know about the 1 to 200 scale Bismarck from Hachette. And obviously you can get that as well as in scale model format. But Nigel's modeling bench is doing just the gun. That's all it is just the gun. And it's 1 to 72 scale and it's massive. It really is incredible. And if you're an aircraft modeler, I mean, it's like these tanks, they come in like 1 to 35 scale. And because I do 1 to 48 and 1 to 72 scale, I don't really fully get what 1 to 35 is, you know. But when I see a battleship turret in the same scale as one of the aircraft that I'm building, and obviously like the air, because you remember about the Bismarck was attacked by swordfish, fiery swordfish? So, you know, and you think, well, you know, they chucked all those torpedoes at it and it didn't sink, and why not? Well, when you look at the size of it, it kind of gives you a bit of a perspective then, doesn't it? So, right. So I've finished all I'm going to do on these 310s. As part of this checkerboard bit is done. My little plastic is down to there. So as you see, I do it in squares. If I was doing double-sided tape, what you would actually be looking at now is a piece of tape there, or a piece of card there, and a piece of card. So you'll easily see where it is. But so whereas some people would now fill those gaps in, what I'll now do is I'll work my way around with the other colors, and then once the other colors are done, I'll go back to this number 3, which is 310, and I'll fill that in, and then that will be the that square done. So sorry guys, I'm going to have to turn the light on because otherwise I can't see on the desk, and that idea hasn't worked. Right, I wrote the number. I was just going to use these bags temporarily, but this is meant to be a permanent marker, and it's rubbed off. All right, so my next colour is H, which is number 14. So, oh, we have a blue. So the only thing I don't like, the worst bit about this, you get all the drills come on these, and then you've got to separate these into bags or separate areas. And what I tend to do is I do them as I need them. So you're going to call me naughty for the way I've organised this, but I don't really care today. So some of these Fansels ones, this is another reason why I like Smith's beads. Some of the Fansels ones, you get this number here, number 1, you can't really see it, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 27. Then you'll get a symbol. Now that middle one refers to what the symbol means on here. So here You can't see it, but you've got C. So you look down on the chart, C, it's number 10, but it's actually got the color call out, which is 452. Now, some of these don't have that color call out. So you don't know how, you always get leftovers. And because you don't know what color they are, you can't store the spare drills afterwards. So I do like my diamond paintings to have the actual what they call a DMC. And if anyone wants to tell me exactly what DMC means, I know DMC is to do with cross stitching, because this particular color is 820. Now, if you bought a cross stitch thread in color 820, it would be the same color as this, and that's the way they do it. Right, where's my pen gone? Do you know how I do this? I put my pen down. This is actually one of my favorite colors, 820. It's a really nice blue. Despite the fact that I'm a purple fan, one of my favorite colors on diamond paintings is blue. How interesting is that? Right, so yeah, that turret on the Bismarck is huge, and now that I can see a turret next to an aircraft, it kind of gets into perspective why it wasn't so simple as to just fly out, chuck a few torpedoes at it and watch it burn, because I probably would have took a lot more. And of course, under gunfire, these pilots have got to get that torpedo accurate. So, and obviously, like you hear about the Germans sinking thousands and thousands of tonnage worth of ships. Well, they were smaller ships, weren't they? So probably most of those would probably sink with one torpedo hit. So the U-boats were perfectly adequate for that job. Right, so triple glazing. Yeah, probably is triple glazing. Yep, LOL. We could tell the weather outside. Yeah, we can tell the weather at Heathrow at the moment. You just look out the window and you think, Jesus, that's hot. Because that's what the weather's been like the last few weeks. I made a stupid mistake because I was doing an overnight bus. I thought, I know, I'll be clever and I'll take a coat. Well, of course, overnight you're in the coach with heating controls. You don't wear your coat, do you? By the time you get down to London, it's hot, so you don't need your coat. So now you need somewhere to carry your coat, which is the hard bit. And of course, by the time you get to Heathrow, with all that aircraft movement, it's a very hot place even in the winter. Because if you look up every year when they go, oh, the hottest temperature this year was, and it's always Heathrow. It was recorded at Heathrow at 3 in the afternoon, where the temperature was 4 degrees higher than normality every single time. Right, so Yamamoto's turret was huge. You know what? I'm interested now to see Yamamoto, because I've got the Bismarck now as a bench. Well, I've got aircraft as a benchmark up against Bismarck. To then see the Bismarck against the Yamamoto, that'd be quite interesting. So didn't those Yamamoto turrets weigh more than some class of ship? Wow. Wow. Yes. Nigel has small hands. I thought the Tomato turret was... Okay, so you're saying his hands are actually making the turrets look bigger than they actually are. So, yeah. And then Mike is saying, Dolphus Meek. I have no idea what that means, Mike. You'll have to explain that one, I'm afraid. Right. So this colour I've got is 820, which is H's. There's only a few H's to do. I've tipped way more than I needed in here. But I might be able to show you why checkerboarding is So good. No, I won't. Not to any great degree. No. Right. I'll try and do this a bit closer. Right, are we going to get a focus? Right. So this one there where it says H, because there's a drill next to it, rather than trying to place this in the middle, what you can actually do is catch the bottom of this. See, I'm overlapping that drill, and then that will help guide it in. Now, that wasn't a brilliant way to show you, and it was upside down. Let's try that again with one the correct way round. So you're kind of sliding it on. Now, you imagine you've got a drill all four sides. Like you see here, you've got one above, one below, left and right. You've now got 4 drills that are guiding that in. Now, I don't want to put one of these drills in because it's the wrong color, but because you've got a little guide, it makes it a little bit easier. So this one's going to go in. You actually want to come in this way because it kind of acts as a buffer as well. Now, can you see that drill there at the bottom is slightly, well, let's push it back to where it was. So let's say that drill is slightly too high. See, I've got it slightly off. Now, as that drill comes in, it's pushing it down and it pushes it into place. Now, if you've got the drills either side of it as well, it's going to stop it from going off too much. Then you use your little pusher bit. You don't want that one. That's the point. Let me switch my pens back. Let's go back to my original pens. Right, this is the original. Same thing this is, but this has got a flatter edge. So now you're using that flat edge just to position it a bit. And it just makes the job so much easier. And most of the work has been done by doing this checkerboard. Obviously not so much with this because it's a little bit smaller. And unfortunately that is, oh, of course. Yes, I asked what DMC meant. So that is what DMC means. So I'm guessing that is a company formed from 3 people, because I understand the word ET, which means as well. So it could be 2 people there. So that's Dolphus, Meng, and Compan. Yeah, I can't pronounce that. So James Mower is saying that he used to melt at Heathrow. Yeah, I think it takes a special kind of person to work at Heathrow, especially if you're working outside. This is, I don't like these boats. I like the white boats. This is called a boat for reasons that it looks a bit like a boat. It's an absolutely brilliant tool because it's got little ribs in. So you actually use it to knock the drills, and most of those drills will knock so that they're upward facing. And then you get what you can, then you knock it again, and those ridges, see how they all line up because of the ridges. But these ones, I find them difficult to pour with. The white ones have a little spout, and what you do is when you want to tip them in, because they've got a spout, they're all encouraged to come out through the middle. So really, ideally, you want a bag that's wider than the boat. And you see, look, I always lose a couple of drills every time I'm pouring them in the bag. I normally store these in Tic Tac boxes, and the opening of the Tic Tac boxes are just big enough for the spout to get in. Right, so my next one is number 20, which is a P, which is color 939, and that is, oh, we've got 2 bags of those. Why have we got 2 bags of those? There must be an awful lot of P's. See, I think, oh, I see, yeah, the P's are all up here. So you see, this is quite a nice one. It's a very dark blue, almost black. So I might actually save that think what we'll do is I'll try and get this big section done in a bit. Save me switching colours out so much. If I go straight from finishing this off to going into that. So yeah, I'll do that. So use bag 23. Sorry guys, normally I am a bit more organised than this, but it just hasn't happened today. 24, 23. Once I've start that one again. Once I've used the bag for the first time, and I get it into one of these little baggies there, I don't have to go through all this every time. It's just that first sort. So say normally I spend about half an hour putting everything into Tic Tac boxes. And then once I've got those sorted out, I can just tip them straight in as and when I need them. And I tip what looks like roughly the amount that I need. And it's you can never get it exact, but after a while you look at the space, you'll see all of that, and you'll tip maybe that much in, and you just sort of roughly know how many you're going to need. But so U is 3371. So just tip a few of those in. Oh, probably way too much there. So let's get this set up. Right. Oh, these are brown, not blue. Oh yeah, the other ones were blue, weren't they? There you go. That's gone in really nice. And all of that for that. All right. So I got next. I'll do that K with the right. So I'm gonna change my plan again. I'm gonna fill all the threes in. Let's cut this. I'm trying to think of an efficient way to do it. And what this is a ceramic pen. So it's really good because it won't cut too deep and it won't cut through certain things. And sometimes it doesn't even cut through plastic. It's also really good for, and I don't demonstrate this as much as I used to. I think it doesn't cut skin either. However, last time I demonstrated that, I said to my friend, I went, well, watch this. And I went like this and I got a couple of little lines. And I went to the doctor's a couple of days later and she spotted these lines and she said to me, so would you like to tell me about the lines on your hand? And I said, oh, no. I said, that's nothing. That was an accident. And she went, are you sure that was an accident? She said, have you been harming? And I went, no, honestly. And she was looking at me like she didn't really believe me. So it was a little bit embarrassing. That's right. So P's 93920. That's definitely this one, isn't it? So yeah, slightly embarrassing that she thought I was up to bad things. I still don't know if she believed me in the end, but I thought it was just funny when I just said, look, watch this. It doesn't cut anyone. You cannot cut skin. Oh my God, I've cut the skin. Yeah, if I'm going to cut a bag, it'd help if I cut enough, wouldn't it? So tell you what, the custom that I've got is going to have an awful lot of green on it. That's going to be fun, isn't it? Now, if you're going to ask me why I'm transferring from one bag to another, it's because these little bags that I've got, they've got the little reseal bit. These are all right as long as you can keep them controlled. If they knock over, everything's going to fall out. Whereas these have the little resealable bit at the top. So as you can see there, it's not going to fall out. Right, P20939. Pen. This is not the best way to organize. Oh, look. It's not the best way to organize things, but it's going to work for me on the day. So. So that's, you can't really see the difference there, but it's subtle. Oh, that didn't work. See, also what I find helps is I don't push these down super hard. I just put them down enough to stick. And then once I've finished a full square, I've got a roller. I had a roller. I don't know if I've still got it. I've done a few moves, and you guys who knows me for a long time know when I move, things go missing. But it's like a little rubber roller, and you go over them and it really pushes them down quite hard. But the reason I don't push them down hard to start with is that if you see, if I need to move that, you see how easy that is to move around. Whereas if I push that down hard, it would be a lot more difficult to do. I don't know if that's established diamond painting practice, or if I've just invented something that works. Maybe I'm a pioneer there, I don't know. So see, when I get little, every now and again my pen does pick up an extra drill. You see it has done there. Might be because I've got a little bit of excess, but just got to be careful. What I try to do is, if I do, I have no idea how I would pick up two on purpose, but try and place one roughly in the area and then place the next one where you want it to go. And I wish you could see that color difference. It's really nice, actually. It's quite subtle, but there's so many colors, and there's quite a lot of subtle changes that you can get this nice shading. And if you get, basically the way it works is that the larger the picture, the more subtle the color changes will be. If you imagine that this picture, this entire picture, well, you can see there, look, you see that the color changes are quite harsh there. I don't know what it'll look like once it's done, but if you had this picture was half, can you imagine how blocky it would be? Whereas if you had the picture was much bigger, the changes would be a lot more subtle. Although some people would argue that because you're working your way across and only a slight color change, it makes it less interesting. But I think it looks so much better when the colors are changing gradually. So I'm kind of, checkerboard idea has kind of gone out the window at the moment. Not on purpose, it's just kind of not happening. There we go. But that's really nice, because I say it's, show you the color there. Now I know you're looking through a bag, but you see this difference. These are definitely blue. I don't know if anyone can tell me the exact shade of them. It's colour 939, but it is one of my favourite colours. And obviously all of the purples. So, blimey, we've got 10 people watching, you know. So is anyone watching on Facebook? I'm live on 2 Facebook groups as well. Obviously my preferred platform is YouTube, because we can measure that. I can sit there and look at the analytics and see where people have come from, where I can get a wider reach, appeal to more people that want to watch the channel. But at the same time, the more platforms you broadcast to, the more, obviously the 2 groups that I'm broadcasting to are both diamond painting groups. Well, they're craft groups actually. And when I'm publishing to craft groups, what my ultimate aim is if I can get one person going, do you know what, I'll give that a little try. Then, because I don't know, I think crafts are really important. I think, especially at the moment, there's so much stress in the world with, especially with cost of living, etc. I think if you can just find something, so right now, I really don't care what's going on in the world because I'm in my own little world, and you know, I'm going back to work tomorrow, so I'll deal with work stresses tomorrow, and then when I get down to London, I'll deal with London stresses then. But right now, all I care about is little cheap bits of plastic going onto a piece of poured glue, and that's the only thing that matters. Is that paint? Oh, that was a bee. Right, so that's that square nearly buggered up, isn't it? And of course, you can do so much with these when you're finished as well. You can frame them or whatever you want to do with them. Having said that, it's 20 past. Trouble with this is when I'm sitting there doing this on my own, I can probably do about this much on average in an hour. Obviously, when I'm doing a stream, I'm not going to do it as quickly. But it's taken nearly 2 hours to do this, an hour and a half. Right, so that's the piece done on there. So I'll do those later. Right, what did we say? These are the P's to 939. So all I need to do now on that square, apart from that H, is just, there's a U there as well. I always get 1 or 2 that I miss out. Just 1 or 2, that's it. Does anyone else find that? I've tried to leave this square so there's only the 1 colour left to do. See, there's a U that I've missed out, and I've missed out an H. So U's are the 3371, which is this one. So now I have to try and pour just a single drill out, which we all know isn't going to happen. Oh, look at that. I didn't think that was going to happen. Right, so you. Oh, look, and there's some P's I've missed out there as well. H820. Right, so a single H. Do you know what? I'm going to cheat. Like, even when I do it with my pen, I can't get a single one out. Oh, that's why I needed to get 3 out so I could throw 2 of them across the table. Right. So there's my single H done. And then 3 P's left right at the beginning. That's right, I thought I'd done it wrong. I thought I'd done the wrong colours. I have done that before. I've done a massive section of the wrong colour. and then I've had to pick pick all the drills out, and then I've then gotten a muddle. I'm like, oh, have I pulled the wrong color out? So I've ended up pulling 2 colors out, and then I can't remember which drills are which. So I've ended up throwing all those drills away because I didn't want to put them in the wrong place. And yeah, just it's horrible. When it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Right, so 310s. Finish this off. So at the rate that I'm going, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. It's going to be about 12 shows to finish this off. I did an absolutely wonderful. There we go. I'm going to do a close-up now. Remember I was saying about how the drills just fall in. So you pick any one you want. You can kind of do it blind because you can see that. Do you see how it just falls into place? Now that one is slightly off, but when you then do this one, you see it all kind of pushes itself in. And then as you do all the ones surrounding, it just all works out. I really don't understand. Well, I suppose the science is that they're all kind of pushing against each other, and they all push themselves into line. But it's quite quick to do. It's not really much slower to set them up when you do the first pass, but it's so much quicker when you do the second. So I had a thought, guys. The idea of me doing this show, and why I called it, what I call it, Adventures of a Bus Driver doing diamond painting. Obviously, most of my life outside of home, well, all I really do is hobbies and bus driving. So I thought most of this would be stories about bus driving, but obviously once you've told a story, it's been told, isn't it? And then if I've got 3 days off or 4 days off on the trot, ooh, just make sure those. This is the only thing is you do have to get those ends lined up. That's that first line. But once that end is lined up, it's then your basis for everything else. So you'll see me fiddling on the edges. But it's I suppose it's like the old carpenters cut measure twice, cut once. You know, you got to put that effort into lining it all up, and then everything then comes off that one bit that you've carefully measured. And you've only got 4 edges, so once they're done, it's done. The line, I forgot that I've cut that off. I put that so my hand doesn't stick to the glue. Good job I don't have hairy hands, isn't it? But if I did have hairy hands, I wouldn't have hairy hands because all my hairs would be pulled off by the glue. Right, that's actually lined up really nicely, apart from this bit there. Oh, I told you guys, we were talking about films earlier on. I'll tell you a film that I watched the other day that I actually enjoyed, and that's that new Buzz Lightyear film. Don't know if anyone else has seen it. It's like, I shouldn't really have watched it. It wasn't really aimed for me. It's a sort of film that someone of my age would normally be watching it with the kids, and they can enjoy it with the kids. But I actually really enjoyed it, and I don't like admitting this, but I had a bit of a cry. I thought it was quite sad in places. So if you like a good film and you're the kind of person that shouldn't really be seen crying in public, watch it in private. It's a really good film. It's essentially the backlog story to Buzz Lightyear. So I apologise, I'm having a quick roll at the moment. And I've got my eyes on that Pop-Tart again. Tell you what I will be doing tomorrow. I've never had a s'mores Pop-Tart in the toaster. You know how Pop-Tarts you can enjoy hot or cold. And some of them are probably better hot. And some of them actually better cold. I've never had a hot s'mores Pop-Tart. And as it has originated from a campfire treat, I would guess it might be cool. Can you imagine if it's nicer? Can you imagine something that's absolutely amazing and then you make it more amazing? So it's a good job I've done overtime this week and I can buy some more next week. I scared everyone off. There's no chat. Not that you have to chat. I have seen some streamers before. They're like, come on, there's 3 people in the chat. Come on, make a comment. I'm like, no, I don't want to now. I chat because I want to, not because I'm made to. So yeah, the rate this is going, I think that custom shouldn't be coming for about 4 weeks. Give me time to make it. Can you arrange that, Mike? Slow, to be honest with you, I'm never in a rush anyway. I always say I tend to buy and plan the project before I need it. So my next diamond painting is bought while I'm doing the one before. Obviously, the problem there is when you have none and you want to try one, and there's not really a lot we can do about that. You have to buy it and wait for it. And I used to say, go to somewhere. Oh, look, I've got a square. Stray drill. But it shows you the difference, the way that they're cut. Come on, can we have a focus, please? I got that. I did get that to focus a minute ago, didn't I? I think it's trying to focus on too much. Let me find this a piece of paper, and maybe that'll work better. Right. So what I want to do is get the square. I'm trying to turn this drill over on this piece of paper because there we go. So right, hopefully this will work. Oh, come on. There we go. I think that's the best I'm gonna. Yeah, there you go. So can you see how that square one is cut and how the circle one, the round is cut? So you can see that the square is going to deflect the light totally different. Now, when you've got hundreds of these all lined up, and each one you're seeing at a slightly different angle from the next, that they're all going to reflect the light slightly, just ever so slightly differently. And then as you move them, like you do there, you see that they're kind of shimmering more. This is what they say. These shimmer, but these sparkle. It's the way that they're cut. I think the best thing to do, actually, now we've got some of these. Have we got enough? Yeah, can you see how they're shimmering? I don't know why these ones aren't. So, yeah. No, see, Mike, 10 days. 10 days is oh, you're estimating how long this is going to take. That I can work with. Right, Jeff Light, he's in my camp. I think Buzz Lightyear is great. I thought it was a really good film. I thought, I was subscribed to Disney. I got this message come through to say you can, it's now streaming, and I didn't really have. I like to watch a bit of TV or something in bed. Normally, I watch YouTube because if I fall asleep, because once you fall asleep, once the program ends, it sometimes it'll just stop, and that's quite handy. If I watch another thing I'm watching, which is a bit frustrating, I've seen it before, but Two Broke Girls, I watched that on Amazon, and if I fall asleep, I'll wake up in the morning and about 15 episodes has passed. And then next time I sit down, I spend half an hour trying to figure out which one I'm up to. So I have to, whereas for something like YouTube, it just stops. But no, I sat there and watched some Buzz Lightyear, and I actually had to watch it all the way to the end. Absolutely loved it. So I don't think it's. I could call it a guilty pleasure, but I don't like the. I don't know if you watch comedy. There's one comedian out there, I can't remember who it was. He said about the expression guilty pleasure. He says the word guilty suggests that you're doing something wrong, and then people go, "Oh, my guilty pleasure is Housewives of New Jersey or something." Well, that's not really guilty, is it? If someone says, "What?" I think it was Sean Locke actually. He says, "What's your guilty pleasure?" He says, "I like to say I like murdering children." That's a guilty pleasure, isn't it? Something really bad that you enjoy doing. But I've got two drills stuck together. See, they're gone. I've got a duff drill there. See, this is what happens when you buy cheap. I must admit, these fan saws, they did look good, and I'd heard a lot of moans about them, and I went, do you know what? I'm gonna buy a few, and I bought them all from their $2.99 range. And to be fair to them, if you've never done diamond painting before and you don't know if you're going to enjoy it, this is probably a good one to get. Because although I think you have to spend a minimum amount to get free postage, but it's perfectly good enough for $2.99. I probably wouldn't pay more than that for this. And I see some of the ones on Amazon, and I'm like, you get to know what the quality's like before you buy it, and you're just like, yeah, I ain't paying that. So that's why it's always best to buy, even if it costs you a little bit more, go somewhere a bit reputable. And I've wasted so much money on diamond paintings that just aren't really worth it. I've had some really disappointing ones, and they draw you in with the designs, don't they? And the trouble is, if you get a bad diamond painting, it could put you off the whole hobby altogether, which is obviously not the desired effect. I suppose it's the same with scale models as well, isn't it? You get a couple of bad kits. Actually, if there's any of the scale modelers watching, I want to ask your opinion on what do you think of ICM kits? And I will give it a minute and I will explain why I'm asking that question. I don't want to influence anyone and give my thoughts before anyone else answers. But do you think they're any good? Right, so Mike's saying, should be with you for Christmas. Might even be finished by Christmas, I hope. I'm estimating about 10 days. Yeah, I thought that because you said, well, what did we say about 2 to 4 weeks, didn't we? I'm not one of these. I'm not like, oh my God, you said 2 weeks and it's now been 15 days. I want my money back. But I've got the confirmation email. It was upgraded to processing on the 31st of July. I think there was a couple of days late. It was done to, or something like that. But that would take it 14 days from then, would take it to the 14th, which is this coming Sunday. Right. So yeah, I'm expecting it around about the 21st. That's 3 weeks. I'm one of these. If you say 2 weeks, I won't start moaning within 3 weeks. Right. So whole 247 models. I haven't tried them yet, Penny. P40F20 says ICM has gotten to be very good. Right. Okay. I like that statement. I was mucking around the other day, and I've got the ICM beer delivery, beer whatever. It's basically it's a Model T van with a couple of guys, and the actual figures. The body comes in 2 halves, and then you've got 2 legs, and then you've got the arms, and the fit is quite awkward. It could be that I haven't quite put them on properly, but I've put them on as best I can, and I'm going to need quite a bit of filler. Now, okay, bodies are a complex shape compared to like a Model T van is very boxy, isn't it? It's essentially it's a 6-sided box on a platform with some round bits on it. So the rest of it might go together quite nicely, but I wanted to put the figures together because I wanted to do a video on painting with a paintbrush. And I just found it really, what I've had to do is glue like the body together, and then glue the legs together, and then later on glue the body and the legs onto the body. And then, but then it's going to be hard to do the pose because I think I might have to leave them till the end, because you need him in a position where he's unloading a barrel from the truck. And until you've actually got the truck together, you may not be able to work out the pose. So it might just be that I've done it because I've tried to do the figures separately. But there's 2 figures to do. So I do not like these drills. So many of them stuck together, and it's not grease. I think they've all come out of the mold a little bit early, and they're a little bit, because obviously these are all injection molded. So I think they've popped them out of the mold a little tiny bit too easy. There is a way around this, and I haven't got one. I don't think I've got one. Bear with me one sec. Oh, that's annoying. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I had one. It looks like I haven't, but you can get a grinder used for popular frowned upon hobbies, and you pop them in the grinder, and you I mean, it's designed for grinding. How do I describe this? Dry leaves into a much finer grinding, but you put these drills in it separates them. But I've never had so many drills stuck together before. There you go, look. And when you try and pick them apart, one of them flies off. So but you know, you buy cheap that's what you get. And I would say fansels are obviously very good. I'm moaning about fansels because I haven't been moaning about them, but they did look very good. Somewhere in my videos, I've got a 2 or 3 part video. I bought so many I couldn't get them all reviewed in one video. But these came out really good. Most of them didn't have the DMC number on them, which was my moan. That's another one stuck together. Trouble is, that problematic. I'm losing interest for tonight. You know how just that. I don't know if you can see that. Guess who sells them? Not you, Mike, do you? Please don't tell me it's you, because here's me trying to big up your store. I thought fansels were fansels. God, I might be in trouble now. Might have just lost my discount codes and my future sponsorships. Look. Grind, I thought you talked about fansels. Yes, I've noticed that my local, the post office next door to the depot that I work at, they sell them. But let's just say that you can buy them very easily in Glasgow. Do you know what? Look, the majority of these are stuck together. There's not many that aren't stuck. I want to throw them in the bin. I'm not going to, but what I am going to do, but it's a pain. It really is a pain. So Amanda Blackshaw, how are you? This is a lovely lady who she moans to all the bus drivers because I'm not en route anymore. Hi Penny, have you moved to London route now? Yes. So obviously you've come in a little bit later. So I'm going to show you this. This is a picture that I've taken of one of my coaches, which I'm having converted to a custom diamond painting. So what you see me doing now, in a couple of weeks' time, this will be a coach. And that's what I drive on all of my shifts now. Although saying that, I did do your route yesterday. I did an overtime shift on the normal service buses, and I was up in your area. Right, so Mike's given us a list on eBay. Is that for the grinders? And then Mike got to list them on. Yeah, I it's definitely worth having. It really is. But yeah, grinders are. But yeah, it's one of those things you don't want to pop into your local post office. Can you imagine an old lady going in and go, "Excuse me, have you got a cannabis grinder I can buy?" I think you'd be frowned upon there, wouldn't you? Jeff Light, not built any ICM stuff, but they are building. Yeah, this is what I've heard. I've now got 2 kits. I haven't built any yet, but I did buy the Bronco. The reviews on that Bronco were excellent, and it is a US Navy aircraft, so that fits in very well with my interests. And then Jeff's just corrected himself there. Amanda says that's lovely. The wee ones loved it when you beat the horn. Yeah, I did see their faces. Yeah, Amanda got on my bus the other day with her was it 2 kids you've got? And then we saw them later on and got a nice big wave off Joseph. And so yeah, beat me horn, and don't know if anyone else in Paisley was complaining about it, but hey, you know, happy customers, that's more important, isn't it? So I'm a little bit too high up there. Yeah, this little load of drills is a little bit better. It is really frustrating when can you see that I'm whizzing along now. You know, I've got a nice little batch come out, and when you stop on every other drill, it's really frustrating. So, right, guys, it is now coming up for 12. So I'm going to finish this section off, and then I'm going to call it a night. Mainly because I've got quite a bit to do, and I'm a little bit disorganized, which is kind of killed my flow a little bit. I really should have taken a little bit more time and got everything ready, get my tic tacs ready and stuff. Maybe next time we'll do a longer session. But yeah, so my next stream isn't going to be until I might need my phone. Actually, I put all my shifts into Google Calendar, but it looks like I'm doing. Having said that, my boss, we're slightly short of staff, so things get rearranged sometimes, and other areas are needed. But I should be working, was it Monday, week 8? So I am working for the next 6 days. So I'll probably do 2 streams next week, which will be Monday and Tuesday. This is obviously on top of my normal schedule of releases. Completely going to change the subject now. My fire truck, I'm a little bit worried about that. I was paying for it monthly and getting deliveries. Whoops, that I did not want to do. Now, as it stands, I am. Let me find my schedule. Right, I've got videos. Oh no, up until the end of August, 22nd of August. Now that takes me up to pack 6. Now pack 6 came out a little bit late, and then I had a couple of financial issues, and I needed to just make a little bit of cutbacks. I had my car insurance due, and it zapped me of all my cash. So, and I thought, okay, fine. What I'll do is I said, can I delay my payment on the fire truck? I'm so far ahead, it won't make a difference on YouTube. So yeah, fine. But pack 7 still hasn't been released. It's been about a month and a half. Now the last one came out late, and it's been about a month and a half since, and they're telling me it's not actually due for release for another 7 to 10 days. So if they're going to be releasing them like every 6 weeks, and I'm trying to get a whole pack done in 4 weeks, you can see that's not going to add up. So I think that when I get pack 7, I think I'm going to do one stage per video. I don't know how many stages. See, this is the thing. I want the instructions. I don't want the instructions to see how to do it. I want the instructions to see how many parts there are in the pack. Because but I think we've had 8 stages in a pack, and we've had 6 stages in a pack. Now, if I'm going to do 2 stages per pack, 2 per video, then that's only going to work out if there's 8 stages. So obviously, if pack 7 has got, say, 5 stages, and how many weeks are there till the next one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, if it was 5 stages, I would have to do 1 stage per pack, 1 stage per video. So I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is for the next couple of packs, I'm going to do 1 stage per video, regardless of how long it is, like the Eddie Stobart, and then fall behind on it in comparison to the release schedule. But at least then I'll have a video coming out every week. We're in for some slow times with the Eddie Stobart because we've got wheels to do. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but because the subscribers fall a little bit behind the news agents and then they catch up, I can obviously see what's being released and what needs doing. I've just done one video where it's only a wheel. Look, these are stuck together. Like, it just it's quite frustrating. Yeah, so the Eddie Stobart's going to be hitting slow times for a bit, but you've heard it here first. I made some predictions on when I thought the chassis was going to be coming in, and I think I was actually a little bit conservative. I think the chassis is coming in a couple of weeks before I thought it would be coming in. But I kept the prediction quite loose, because I said once we've done the wheels and the wheel arches, we're going to need that chassis to attach the wheels and the wheel arches to. And we've got a driver's cab has been sat there for ages. And I said it'd probably be around, I think, stage 50 to 52. And I think it's coming in about, from the description, it says attaching something to the left chassis. So 2 more packs and we are done. We are, well, not done, but we're onto the chassis, which, you know how Hachette builds go. You build a little bit and then the build speed is really, really slow. I remember this with the Routemaster, and then all of a sudden it just shoots up. So I'm really excited about the Eddie. Like I keep saying, I love that Eddie Stobart build. You know, I love the Routemaster, and I think the Routemaster is the best part work I've done so far. But I think the Eddie Stobart is in danger of being the best part work, which is good, because, you know, you should be doing a part work and you should be going, oh, because of technology, this is the best part work I've ever done. And then a couple of years later, you should be doing another part work that's taking advantage of advancing technology. And you'd be going, no, this is the best part work. And then a couple of years after that, you know, I should be doing another part work that makes the Eddie Stobart look awful. Obviously, we've had issues with the Spitfire. The Spitfire, I think, you know, with the part work world at the moment, with what's going on with Eagle Moss and Hachette Spitfire, you know, are we actually going to be attracting people to the part work world? And I'm sorry about going technically off topic. Right, that is lovely. So there you go. BGs would be proud of that sparkle, wouldn't they? So yeah, it's not anything exciting I've done, because the corners never are that exciting, I'm afraid. But 2 sessions next week, 3 sessions a week after. You know, we might be well on our way to doing it. I think what I'll do as well is I might be in a position to get a slightly longer session in future videos, and I might do the outside off camera. Let me move this camera up. I'm wondering if maybe to get this done quicker, if I do the outside off camera and then we can do the middle on camera with the chat, that'll get things done, and get this one finished. I really don't want to have half finished. I've got another half finished one, and it's a little bit, but yeah, it's obviously this isn't the one I wanted to do on camera. It's okay, but it's not the one I wanted to do. I want to do but I've had this idea of doing buses on for diamond paintings for years now. I always take, every time when I did agency, let me just change my camera. Is that me? That's me. That's me. So, yeah, hope I haven't upset you and your family now, Amanda, with my choice of top. I think Nether Craigs is a bit of a Rangers area, isn't it? Yeah, so I did want to do, obviously, hopefully I'll be at Flixbus for a long time. So they won't be change buses, which means I can get some of my older buses done on diamond painting. So, but this is the first custom I've done with Smith. It's the first custom I've done, and I'm really looking forward to it because obviously I know what to expect with diamond painting. So I do apologize. I did give you a warning. I do smoke, and I'm sorry. So all I can really tell you, well, with diamond paintings, you get a boat, which is great. But by the time you bought a few, you end up with hundreds of these boats. And it's quite funny that when people start, they go, well, I've only got one. It'd be handy if I had more. So they'll go out and buy more. And then all of a sudden they've bought 20 or 30 diamond paintings. And they're like, oh my God, I've got more boats than I can shake a stick at. You get a little pen. Don't know what I've just done with mine. You get a little pink pen and a little bit of wax, which is absolute minimum you need. That's all it is. I'll be honest with you there. I can use them, but I prefer this. This is better for me because I'm a little bit of a heavy presser, and those cheaper pens don't really last that long. So this is a bit more heavy duty, and also I don't have to keep faffing about with the wax. When you buy a custom from Smith's Beads, you get the option to have the tools or not. Now, I'm pretty sure Smith's Beads looked at my order and went, why has she put yes to tools? And I don't need the tools, and I feel a little bit naughty by taking the tools, but it enables me to tell you what you get with it. So, and I suspect it will be a green boat with a little pink pen and a little square of wax, and that's what you usually get. And they don't cost any extra, it's just it comes with it. Who knows, it might surprise me and I might get a fancy pair of tweezers. Sometimes you get tweezers with them. Mike, when do you get tweezers and when do you not get tweezers? Is it the better brands give tweezers, or is it random? Or, but obviously, you know, I bought this custom as a customer, not as Penny. Obviously, I'm friends with Smith's Beads as well as anything else, and I've got no discount on it. And I want to show you exactly what it's cost me, exactly what I'm getting. I've been given, the service so far has been fantastic because I sent in a picture. The picture was sent back to me. This is roughly what it'll look like. And then obviously it may not look exactly the same as the picture, what with the computer rendering and stuff, and the exact shades of green and black and stuff. So obviously once I receive it, I'll then be able to say to you guys, this is exactly what I've got. If you buy a custom from Smith's, this is exactly what you will get. And I'm really looking forward to it. So we will just do more catch up. So we once loved it when you beat the horn. Yes. I'll be back soon. Hope you're still on. I don't know if you're still on now, but I will be going shortly. So I do apologize. Maybe not, LOL. When will you next be on live? So my next live for this is going to be next Monday, and that will be in the evening. So the plan is when I have a day off work, I will stream, and I'll do a little live on diamond painting. Unfortunately, because I don't do set days, the days won't be the same every week. But they'll be the same over 12 weeks. And I won't give you a schedule because I struggle to remember. This is why I put my shifts into a calendar, because then I know what I'm working. So basically I do 6 weeks of nights, then I do 6 weeks of earlies, and basically my it's a 6-week rota, so I get the same days off within a 6 weeks. Then the next week it repeats, but I'm on nights instead of earlies. So I'm off today. I will be off again in 6 Mondays time, but I'll be on early shift. So next week, and I'll do this every week to say what my next days off are. So I'm on week 8, so week 9. So I will be on off work Monday and Tuesday. And then the week after, I'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to probably confuse you all now and say the week after that will be Thursday, Friday off. And then the week after that will be Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then the week after, it'll go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that'll be 4 streams, 1 a day for 4 days. And then it's Monday, Tuesday, which is actually that Monday where I've got 4 days off. That's a repeat of this one. I could have streamed yesterday, but I didn't. The day before, what also happens is, like last week, I was supposed to have, I think it was Wednesday, Thursday off. And my boss said to me that we're desperate for staff. Can you work Wednesday, Thursday? Now, because I get paid based on average hours, so whether I work, sometimes I think I work 4 days, sometimes I work 5 or 6, but I always get paid the same amount every week, because the average over the week is that's what I get paid. So working last week 2 days, he's then given me 2 days off this week, so I've actually had 6 days off instead of 4. But then he asked me to do a private hire. So I got to drive a coach up from Glasgow to Ayr Racecourse. And don't ask me what Ayr Racecourse is like, because I don't know. But what I did manage to do was go around the corners, park my coach up, and I had a little visit in the Robert Burns Museum, which I'm pleased with myself for doing, because I've been in Scotland now for 1.5 years, and I've not visited anything, which I think is quite disgusting. So to get a day trip for myself on a day when I'm working, I thought was pretty good going. I also just found a really good Jamaican, you get these little takeaway trailers, and this guy was selling Jamaican food out of a trailer. And he says it's his own recipe, but he called it sunshine chicken. And I thought that was a good description. It was very, very nice. And then Sunday I did a service bus shift, and I think the reason I enjoyed it was because it's not the daily grind. When I was doing these service buses every day, I hated them. I really didn't enjoy them, but I did enjoy was it Monday? I did enjoy yesterday, and I guess because I haven't done it very much. So yeah, that was quite nice. So yeah, there's my complicated schedule for you. So even though I got a schedule, I might not even stick to the schedule. So this is the problem with the shifts I work. Sometimes I do envy these office workers who work Monday to Friday, and they can, but then maybe that's why we get a lot of YouTube shows on a Friday and Saturday, because that's when people have time off. But when you think that my customer base is customers who aren't working at that particular time, they're off to London to catch a show or something, or they're catching a flight from Heathrow or something like that. The nature of my job is that I'm working outside of the hours that people are working, so that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. So whole 247 models, time for me to go and get some rest. See you all soon. I'm guessing you've gone, but take care. And then Jeff Light says, night, Keith. So really nice to have all the people popping in. Really happy with that. So what I'll do is I will set the streams up days in advance rather than hours. And then what we'll do is I'll work on the outside of this this diamond painting so that we can do the more interesting bits on stream. But the primary reason for this, I've noticed with a lot of the live diamond paint, because diamond painting builds up slowly, I think most people aren't actually watching it or doing it for the diamond painting. It's more a case of let's have a chit chat while I'm doing it. And I think that's for how it's going to go with my stream. If you fancy doing, I noticed there's I know when I did my afternoon stream, we started doing a little quiz. Quizzes are great, but what happens when you run out of questions? But yeah, if we can maybe find some activity to do while we're doing it. And of course, I'd like to hear from you guys as well, what you guys have all been up to. So right, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I see I've still got 6 people hanging on, which is great. Maybe we can get a couple of guests on and have a little bit of a chit chat. But yeah, obviously remember this one's about diamond painting. I fancy doing the odd live show at some point with scale models, but I don't know if that works out. That would work out too well because of the schedule. Right, guys. So just catch that Jeff Light's comment. Thanks, Penny. Stay safe and take care, everyone. Yeah, and I'll say that to everybody else. Stay safe. And yeah, take care. The message I'm going to give to you guys is tomorrow, give someone a ring to someone you haven't spoken to for a while. Make them happy. Right, guys. So if I don't see you before, I will see you next Monday. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.